The X-E3 is the successor to the X-E2 and X-E2S and inherits the same technology we've seen from most recent Fujifilm cameras, including the 24-megapixel X-Trans sensor and hybrid autofocus system. The beauty of the X-E3, apart from the good-looking design, is the size and weight. It feels really light and the flat top makes it even more compact than the X-T20. The build quality is good with features such as top and bottom magnesium plates. As expected, the dials and buttons feel nice and precise in use. The grip is smaller yet more comfortable than I was expecting as long as you use small to medium-sized lenses. There is more space for your thumb on the rear, which means there is no risk of accidentally interfering with the buttons. The only flaw is the tripod socket. I wish it was centered so that I could remove the battery without unmounting the tripod plate first. Inside we have the same 24-megapixel sensor seen on no fewer than 5 other Fujifilm cameras. So no surprises here, the image quality is exactly the same as the X-T2 and X Pro 2. This means excellent dynamic range, very good ISO performance, nice color profiles, as well as the usual caveats regarding the RAW files and certain post-processing software. The video quality is the same as the X-T20 with 4K recording up to 30 frames per second and 1080p up to 60 frames per second. There is no sensor crop but also no full pixel readout, so details are slightly less crisp than with the X-T2. That being said, the camera delivers excellent quality overall and doesn't do too poorly at high ISOs either. It's not really a camera designed for video as it lacks extra settings and features, but for casual recording it does pretty well and the autofocus is blazingly fast. Speaking of the autofocus, the system is familiar as well. You can select between 91 or 325 points and it works with contrast and phase detection. It's one of the best on the mirrorless market, so I wasn't disappointed. It features an updated algorithm that makes it capable of tracking a moving subject that is twice as fast and half the size in comparison to before. In my test, however, I didn't notice a substantial difference, to be honest. It probably helps with very fast and difficult subjects such as birds in flight, which is probably not the genre you would choose the X-E3 for anyway. You can store the AF error depending on the orientation of the camera as well as use settings found on other Fuji models, such as the AFC custom settings that allow you to control the AF behavior according to the type of action you want to photograph. The X-E3 can shoot up to 14 frames per second with the electronic shutter or 8 frames per second with the mechanical shutter. The buffer depth is pretty good with JPEG and RAW files. The battery life is average, but as usual 4K video will drain it faster. Omitting the tilting mechanism was a conservative choice, but to compensate, Fujifilm included touch capabilities with more options. Selecting a focus point with your finger can be very useful at times, but not being able to tilt the screen, which often goes hand in hand with touch sensitivity, can be very frustrating. Fuji decided to get rid of the 4-way D-pad and replace it with an AF joystick. It allows you to move your focus point quickly and precisely and navigate through the menu while leaving some space for your thumb. No D-pad means fewer function buttons, so the new solution is to flick left, right, up or down on the screen to activate the settings. The gesture needs to start from the edge and be quick in order to be effective, which can take some time to get used to. The touch gesture can remain active when using the viewfinder, and there is also the possibility to move the focus point with the touchscreen while composing with EVF, but it is not as quick or as precise as using the AF joystick. The X-E3 is a flat-topped X-T20 with the EVF on the left and a fixed rear screen. I believe it really comes down to this simple description when choosing between the two models. If you like a minimalistic design in a camera, you'll be satisfied with the precise control the X-E3 offers when it comes to exposure and autofocus. There is also enough room for customization thanks to the Q menu and the My Menu page. As for the new touchscreen gestures, some are useful whereas others are less so. But when it comes to overall quality and performance, the camera certainly delivers.